Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. And today I'll be reading a multi-character listener by me. So let's get into it. Xiao isn't usually like this. He doesn't like when he feels needy. And most of all, he thinks it's too strange for him. He isn't used to sympathizing with mortals. And the fact that they may have needs that he may deem unnecessary. It's not food, not nutrition, and not hydration or anything that's necessary to his body. I mean, that's what he thinks. But not even he could deny how attractive you were, and how much he wanted to be by your side, how much he wanted to get his hands on you, to love you, and to touch you. And it was all made worse when he decided to wear those tight shorts when you were staying home. You noticed it first, the way he was staring at you with those eyes, staring at you like a hawk, like he couldn't get his eyes off of you. And at first, it made you uneasy because you thought he was upset with you and just didn't know how to word that. But then, after noticing the way his eyes would always just turn away whenever you turned to look at him, you knew it was something else. Something like desire. And then you just happened to sit next to him. You didn't want to say anything, instead, deciding that you will let him have his own chance of telling you whether he wants to do something or not. He may be too nervous, but you wanted him to be the one initiating this, as most of the time, he doesn't, and he needs to do it once in a while to be able to be comfortable with it. The first few minutes, Xiao only looks at you nervously, his blush getting brighter and brighter by the moment. In his mind, it's just a whirlwind of thoughts, thinking of what he could do, what he should do, and all of a sudden, he decides it's not worth pondering over anymore and scoots closer to you and puts a hand on your thigh, looking at you. Don't you think it's too tight? Well, we are at home right now. Well, I'm home right now, so I'm not worrying about it. Unless you have anything else in mind. No, I don't. But I. What? What is it, Chal? Can I touch you? And even though you're prepared for that kind of question, somewhere along the way, you couldn't help the way you blushed, smiling shyly as you nodded. Of course. You're my boyfriend. Who would say no to that? And you got to see a rare smile from him as he leaned down, pressing a soft kiss to your thigh, holding it with his hand and squeezing, making you blush brightly. And then he does the most unexpected thing. He bites you, and it leaves a little mark. And that's when he panics a little bit. Oh, Wyan, I didn't mean to hurt you. Did he just give you a hickey without knowing what hickeys are? Oh, that was just adorable. But hot, too. And as you blush brightly, trying to just regain your composure and hide some of that surprise in your face, you tell him it's just fine. He don't mind that. Not even a single bit. Scaramouche. Oh, Scaramouche actually has no idea what to do. He may be more of a mess than Chow, but once he gets pent up, he too loses any kind of restraint he has. And that's exactly what you're trying to do here. You're trying to get him to do something extreme, something he usually wouldn't, and something that would usually make him blush just at the thought of. Scaramouche wasn't always described as hot, at least when it came to you. Maybe someone who didn't know him well would only think that he was hot, but most of the time, he was very cute and adorable. Perhaps it was his cluelessness sometimes, or the fact that he would be very hesitant and nervous. But sometimes you would undoubtedly be the hottest person in the room. And that's why you were teasing him. You wanted to see that boldness, the way he would act so hot that he would make your cheeks heat up, and would make some things more steamy, as lately you felt like things were getting more to a standstill in your relationship, and you want things to be more exciting. And that's why right now you are wearing a short tight skirt, making Scaramouche stare at you as you went back and forth in front of him, and you couldn't help but keep on watching you, blushing as feelings in his mind started to just amp up more and more, and he didn't know how to deal with them. And all of a sudden, he had grabbed you by the arm and pulled you down to the couch. Skirmish, what's going on? You ask. You did not expect this. Why was he being so intense? But as soon as you look up at him, was the way he was towering over you now, and all of a sudden he was holding both your wrists in one hand. Stay still. And then he leaned down to kiss your thigh. You blushed brightly. Skirmish, there's no reason to be so. Would you be quiet now? I want to focus. What's he focusing on? You asked inside your head, but decided to be quiet. Because even though you knew he wouldn't hurt you or anything, but sometimes he was so intimidating, especially with the intense gaze that he gave you. You felt like you really shouldn't interrupt on his son. But then, those kisses, the way he was kissing you so intensely, leaving hickeys on your thighs, and going all the way to kiss you on the lips and make out with you. You couldn't help yourself but let out those whines, those small whimpers that you wanted so badly to hide. But when you tried to look away to hide your blush, and bite your lips to hide those noises, Scaramouche only just cupped your face in his hand, giving you a soft look. Wyan, don't hide from me. I love you. So let me see your face. Let me hear you. And with that, you truly couldn't resist. However, after it was all over and done, it seemed like you didn't want to talk about it, blushing brightly whenever you looked at him. He just didn't know how to control himself at times like that, and it resulted into this contrast, with him being extremely shy afterwards, but losing himself whenever he feels so needy. But little does he know, you do love that about him.